Okay, so we're just going to start. I'll start about here, but you can stand on your mat if you feel more comfortable. And we're just going to relax through the shoulders, and we want to think about articulating through the spine. So when I talk about that, it's just bringing chin to chest and becoming quite heavy through the head. Relax through the shoulders, bent knees, and we want to think about just peeling the spine off the wall all the way down. Holding those hands so they're nice and heavy. So see how they're kind of relaxed? They're not like stiff. And then we want to breathe in and out and extend through that upper thoracic, which is just between the shoulder blades. And then coming back up into straight, breathing in and out and having a nice roll through the shoulders. We're going to do that 2 more times. Breathing in and out. We're slowly articulating through the spine. Now this is just warming up, making sure that we are getting those tiny little muscles that are attached to the vertebrae activated and ready to work through Pilates. Avoiding injury. That's the whole idea. Coming up, rolling through the shoulders. So I'm just going to set a timer. Breathing in and out as we come back down again, nice and heavy. Through those arms and head. And breathe in and out. Now I'm coming back over to the mat. So just standing on the edge of your mat, breathing in and out as we walk ourselves forward with our hands, straight arms, into our plank or our front hold position. Now just think about with your plank, I tend to have a habit of arching. We want to just tuck that pelvis in. So think about bringing that pelvis up towards your chin. And you'll activate the glutes. You'll activate the core a lot more. So just hold that plank position. Get used to that position because we're going to use it a little bit. Drop the knees and come back into our child's pose or rest position. Chin to chest. Breathe in and out and walk your hands to the left. Now as we're doing this, just open up your chest to the right. And coming back into center, pushing into the mat. Walking our hands to the right. Now here we're just opening the chest up slightly to the left. And coming back into center. Come up into that 4-point position. Now what we're going to do is, it's like a reverse pelvic curl. So we're going to hold the tummy on nice and tight, so bringing belly button to spine. And you want to think about neutral spine here, and then slowly dipping through that pelvis. So the pelvis is coming forward, and you're bringing that pelvis towards your chin. And look what happens to the back when that happens. See how it arches up? And then bring that pelvis back. So you're thinking about bringing that pubic bone as high as you can. And then we come into neutral spine. Let's try that again. Bringing the pelvis up towards your chin. Look what happens to the spine. It comes into that cat position. And then releasing through the pelvis into neutral spine. We're going to do one more. So this is activating all of those little TA muscles or the transverse abdominis muscles that are in your core. Coming back into neutral. Now we add into the cow position. So we're trying to think about extending up through the chest. So lifting the chest up as we look up. Look what happens to the back. We come into that full back extension. We're coming back down into neutral spine. Let's do the same again. This is such an important movement to get that nice spinal flexion and extension. Looking all the way up, think about pushing the chest out. Now we're going to come back into our cat position as we tuck the pelvis under. So we're adding the two together. Back into neutral as we bring the chest up nice and high. Coming back down into cat. Bring that pelvis under, tuck it right under. Back into cow position. Really nice and high with the chest. Back into neutral spine. Holding in neutral spine. We're coming back down. Hands come behind, we interlace the hands and we push up through the chest, opening right up to that stretch. I'm going to come and face you, but you can stay wherever you like here. Just pushing up through the chest. Hand comes to the side as we reach over and look towards the hand. We're going to do the same on the other side as you reach over, looking towards your hand. Now each time we come back, see how I've got a straight arm here, this arm. We're going to come over and we're going to bend that arm a little more. See how we're bending that arm now as we look over? Back over to the other side, bending that arm. This time we want to try and almost touch elbow to floor. Same on the other side, looking at that hand. Finishing up in this position, we're just going to bring the hands up and over the head. So this is just shoulder mobility work. So from the side, we're just pushing those thumbs back, okay? Pushing the thumbs back. Coming back down again. We're going to do that 2 more times. So just pushing those thumbs back, shoulder mobility. Push the thumbs back. Try not to get too much arch because it's all shoulders here. Pushing back. We're going to do 1 more of those. Now we're here, we're going to pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands come down by your side for that last chest stretch before we move into our chest lifts. Now, if you need to take a drink at any point, please go ahead. You know I will. Coming down onto our mat. Nice and slowly. Now, we have to think about here bringing belly button to spine. We don't want to see any of that doming shape through the core. Knees are even, which usually means that the feet are even. Just pushing in through the legs so that your adductors are engaged. Interlacing the hands behind the head. I just want you to push into the mat with your elbows here. Opening up as much as you can through the chest, squeezing through the back. Release. Do that 1 more time, squeezing through the back. You can feel it between the shoulder blades. And then just release. Okay, so you probably want to be able to see your elbows in your peripheral vision here as you breathe in and out, belly button to spine, as we lift the chest. So don't think about it as a crunch. Think about it as lifting the chest. Breathe in and out as we come back down, keeping the core on the whole time. So tummy is on tight the whole time, don't release. Breathe in and out as you come up and hold. Keep that core on tight. Breathe in and out as we lower. In and out. Belly on tight. Breathing in and out as you lower. In and out. In and breathing out. We're going to do 1 more. Breathe in and out as you come up. Now bring the hands behind the legs to give yourself a little bit more height. Interlace, check that the tummy is not doming, okay? So you want to make sure it's either flat or engaged, okay? So the doming, I mean, it looks like a little mountain that's popping up. We really don't want that. It's putting too much pressure on your abdominals. Okay, so we're going to rock over to one side, back into center, rocking to the other side, back into center. Keep that rocking motion. So it's not a twist, it's a rock. So you want to think about just peeking over, rocking over from one, it's like a rotation. Got 1 more on our left, 1 more on our right. Coming back into center, hands coming down, legs coming up as we breathe in and out. Breathe in and out, lifting up that chest. This is 100 prep. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Getting that chest nice and high. Breathe in and out. And in and out. One more. In and out. And in and out. Hands come down by your side, relaxing through the head, pushing into the tummy here, and you want to push your back into the floor. Now, there's two options here. You can place one leg on the floor if you want to, and we're going to touch one leg down and up for 10. Now, if you find this too easy, then you can bring both legs up, but we're only using one leg down, okay? Now, focus on the hip is the only joint moving. The knee stays in the exact position. So when I come back up, see how the knee lines up with the other knee. So we're not moving the knee at all. Pushing that back into the floor, which will engage the core a little bit more. 3, 2, and 1. We switch to the other side. Three, 2, and 1. Now we're going to interchange the legs. If you're feeling like your back keeps lifting up into, see how my back is lifting? If you're feeling like that's happening, you can put your hands underneath here, okay, to give you a little bit more support. Ideally, we don't need to use that, but we're going to go into exchange now for 10. 1, 2, so good. 3. 8, 9, and 10. Legs coming to tabletop. Bringing one leg down, other leg comes down. Hands come around into a really big stretch. So with these stretches, it's really important that you visualize your muscles in your fingers pushing out, toes pushing out, and everything getting stretched, especially through your abdominals. Okay, really stretching here and out. Breathe in and out as your hands come by your side and legs come back up. Feet on the mat. And we are looking again at knees being nice and even and pushing through. What we're going to do is a pelvic tilt. So remember before that in that pelvic curl when we were doing cat-cow, how we wanted to lift that pubic bone up towards, we're doing the same thing but lying on the mat. So I'll just put my hands here so you can see that your hands are down by your side. So we're going to lift up through the pelvis and coming up. So this is a pelvic curl into that position, into shoulder bridge. Breathe in and out and slowly peeling the spine back onto the floor. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of those. Really slow and controlled here. Tummy has to stay tight, so you're using all your abdominal muscles and your glutes to get you up, and then slowly bringing that back down again. Another one, let's go. And then when we stop at the top, just make sure that you're feeling nice and comfortable in your shoulder bridge. So your shoulders are taking all the weight, your glutes and your feet evenly through with a little bit more weight through the heels. Okay, we're going to bring up the same as we did before, with one leg comes up and down to touch. We're doing 8 of these. And 8. Switch to the other side. And this is your last one, coming in here. Now, if you want to continue with that, you're welcome to. Otherwise, bring your leg into a straight position, and we're going to push down in a point and flex up and down. Flex. Last one. Leg comes in and back down again. Same again, pointing through the toe as you come up into straight. We're going to push down the pointed toe, flex it up. Two more. And last one. Coming into that position and down. Now slowly rolling down and holding in this position. Coming up and grabbing hold of your bands. And a drink, you may as well at the same time. Bands come around the knee. Again, you don't need a band. It's just going to make it a little bit harder if you've got one. So maybe you're doing this off a favour if you don't have one. Okay, so bands just come around the knees here. We're just going to continue working through those glutes. So we're going to peel off up into that shoulder bridge position. And we're going to push out against the bands, in and down. Now with the feet, don't push them in, don't keep them straight, tiny little bit out to the side. So we come up, out, in, down for 20. 3. Just a little touch. 4. If it feels a bit much, you can just take a little break and pick up where you left off. Up to 10. Core and tight. Up to 15. Two to go. Last one. Coming slowly down, just holding in this position, have a little rest because we're going to come up for pulses. Coming back straight up, we're going to pulse at the top for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold here at the top. We're pulsing out with the band. So we stay held and we're going 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Peel yourself down. You can take the band off for now. We will use it again later. And we're going to come over onto our side and we're going to do side lifts. Okay, so what we're doing with our side lift is you want to think about having your head on your bicep and as straight as you can with your body. Tummy on really tight, glutes are on tight, and you want to think about moving the pelvis more than moving the legs as we lift to the side. So what happens here is the obliques and your QL at the back, they're actually lifting that pelvis up. So that's what we want to try and do here, is laterally raise that pelvis up and down. We're going to our last one for 10. Those legs come up, and this top leg is now coming up. You can just take it to here if you need to. You can take it higher, or you can take it all the way. It's up to you, whatever is comfortable. Just keep all of the muscles in the legs engaged. Nice and tight, controlled movement. Last one for 10. And then that leg comes up slightly higher as the bottom leg comes to meet it. and 10. Holding here, arms come over. Now, if this movement's a little bit difficult, bring the arm back into this position, okay? So we're gonna push out through, and as we're pushing, we bring one leg up and down. Like I said, you can bring this arm to here if you need to, and just hold in that position. Last one. Coming onto the front. Okay, so we're going to come into swimming here on our front, and then we're going to move over to the other side. So what we want to do is bring our body up so that our head is just off the mat. Okay, so if you put your hand under and then remove your hand, that's where your head needs to be. And we just extend through the hands and the shoulders, lifting your left leg and your right hand, so that comes up, and then your right hand, left leg, and then we move into swimming. Breathe in, 2, 3, out, in, and out, in, out, in, out, in. Last one, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold here. Hands come by your side as you come back up into our child's pose position. Pushing into the mat, chin to chest. Coming over onto our other side for side lifts. Okay, so tummy on nice and tight here. Relaxing onto that bicep. Let's lift those legs up and down with the core on tight. Visualize the muscles that are working here. So we've got our obliques, our QLs, obviously our glutes are engaged and our core is engaged for stability. 3, 2, 1. That top leg stays up the bottom leg stays up as the top leg comes over. 9 and 10, and then we're going to bring that top leg up as the bottom leg comes to meet it. And last one, hold, arm comes over. Remember, you can keep it here. And we're going to come up for 1. Tummy on tight. And last one, 10. Holding out, pushing through the fingers and the toes. Bring the core on tight. Okay, coming over onto your back and coming straight back up. We're going to come into our roll up position. So just grabbing a drink again. It's so hot here because I haven't got fans on because the boys turned them all off. That was so kind of them. Okay. So we're going to, just sitting back into this position, we're going to extend and flex. That is an amazing calf stretch. And extend and flex. Extend and flex. One more. Extend as we come over into our roll up position. So breathing in and out as you're coming down. We hold here and then come down and over. So breathing in and out as we come up into that roll up position. Now I'm just going to show you what you can do if that roll up is difficult. So we're coming down, slowly down. Now if the roll up is difficult for you, breathe in and out as the hands come, holding under the legs as you pull. See, so you're pulling yourself up using your elbows as well into that position, okay? And in and out. And breathe in and out. And in and out. Breathing in, out, and coming up into that straight back position. Bring your legs out into, not too wide, probably hip width or shoulder width. Okay, we're going to go into our saw. So we're going to come into just bringing the hands kind of parallel with the floor, chest up. We don't want to do these ones, even though that feels more comfortable. We do want to come into that position. We're going to come across the body as we reach. So, sorry, I'll do it this side to start with, sorry. So can you see how the hand is coming out to the front and that hand at the back is pushing? So the hands are like opposite. Okay, so we're pushing in here. So both of your sit bones are on the floor. We come up into this position as we open and come back into center. And we're going to do the same on the other side. We're coming up, opening and back to center. Let's go the same again. Push, really push. Coming up, open and back into center. Same again. Push. You're coming up, we're opening, center. Push. Up, opening, center. One more on either side. So one more here. Really get that stretch. We're going to hold here, pushing into that stretch. Push. Coming up. You're opening through, back to center. Get you to hold here, pushing in, coming up, opening, back into center. Hands are coming down and into our butterfly stretch. So butterfly stretch, if I come to the front, feet are together, and we're just stretching through those hip flexors, moving from side to side. Nice dynamic stretch here. Feeling those hip flexors release and open. Such a good stretch. Okay, we're gonna come up now onto into a standing position, so hopefully everyone can see me okay. Let's start off. Let's actually, know what? We'll start off with our single leg RDLs, and then we'll move into our banded walks, because I know everyone loves banded walks. Yeah. So with our single leg RDL, we're going to bring our hands up into the side just to get our balance, okay? So when we're balancing, I want you to think about pushing through the 3 points of contact with the foot. So we have the heel and the balls here. So really think about pushing through equally. And I want you to bring the core on tight here and extend up through your head. Okay, and that will make you feel a little bit more stable as you breathe in. Arms come down and out. Pushing out through the fingers and the toes. Coming back up into center. And we're going again. So balance here. Stretching through that hamstring. Coming back up. Now you'll feel the stretch through your hamstring, and the higher you get your leg, you'll feel the stretch through the hip flexor. Really push. Nice and tight through the core. I'm assuming that was 5. Really good at counting here. You wouldn't think it's that hard, but it is. We're going to 6, really pushing. And 7. Last one. We're going to hold here for a little bit, okay? So really want you to think about pushing out fingers and toes, getting that leg high, arms high. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up as you started, holding hands out, chest up. Bringing that leg down. Same on the other side. Come this way. Okay, so breathing in. Now you'll find it a little bit harder to get your balance just because you've already done a lot. So just holding here, feeling that balance. Arm comes down as we cut out. Coming up. And 2, really pushing out. See, my balance is a little off here. Up to number 4. Two to go. Hold here. Okay, so pushing out through the fingers and the toes, really pushing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming up. Arms coming out where we started, chest up nice and high. And relaxing, coming over into your banded squats and walks. Correct. Just above the knee here. Now, like I said, you don't need a band. Just makes it a little harder. Okay, so what we're going to do is just pushing out through the knees, and we're going to come into just a standard squat. We're going to do 12 reps of a standard squat. So just down and up. You'll feel the glutes engage a little bit more as they push against the band. Really think about squeezing through the glute here. I think that's 7. Driving the knees out. That was 12. Coming down for 12 pulses. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and coming up. Just bringing that band over the ankles here, okay? Fun times. Squatting into this position, we're gonna walk to that side for 3, and then back to that side for 3. Okay, let's go. 1, we're doing 8, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold in that position for an isometric hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. You can get rid of the band. Don't need that bad boy again. Grab yourself a drink. All right. Coming down onto our mat for some back extension work. Okay, but first of all, we're going to start into our front hold position. And we're going to do a little bit of planking here, and then some back extension work. Okay, so we're going to bring, one leg comes back. Sorry, I'm just going to put water on that, sorry. One leg comes back, other leg comes back. Tuck that pelvis under, holding in this position as we bring one leg forward and back. See how we just bring the knee onto the mat? So we want the knee to skim through the mat. But we don't want to come too far forward. See how we get that? We don't want that. Just enough to keep that pelvis stable. Shoulders are back and down and comfy. It's a technical term, comfy, okay? tight. One more on our right and then one more on our left. One more here, one more here. Come back into plank, making sure that you've got that tummy on tight, tucked under into our pelvis. Quads are on. Dropping the knees. Child's pose position. Rock through the hands, just moving those wrists as we come into our back extension. So what we're going to do here is sit up as much as we can, and we're going to try and activate all the muscles through the spine and the glutes, okay? Because we're trying to work, we need to work the back as well as the front. So I want you to think about pushing up through your chest. So your chest is being pushed right up like we did when we did the cat-cow. Now all I'm going to get you to do is bring your legs off the mat here and then pulse for 1, 2, switch, 1, 2, switch. Making sure those, see how my leg is off the mat, it's not on the mat. Switch. Keep that chest up. Now you will feel all of those erector spinae muscles here really engaging, as well as those glutes to keep the legs off the floor. Keep that going. 2 more on each side. 1 more on our left, or our right, whichever you're up to. And then legs coming down. Hands come down by your side here as we come back into child's pose for our rest. Okay, we're going into our swan dive prep. Everyone loves this one. Okay, so hands come down, probably just around like the chin neck area. And we're going to breathe in here, and as we breathe in, extend through the spine. Think about just bringing the spine off the mat, bringing that chest up. As soon as you can't get any higher, the arms get involved. Pushing it up, breathing in, and then you're breathing out as your way down. Legs coming up. See how the legs come up? And then you're going to breathe in, same again, as the legs come down. Breathing out as the legs come up. So the whole time, this back is involved. Tight through the back, tight through the glutes. Up, so breathing in as you come up, and out as you come down. And breathing in. And breathing out. In. And out. Last one. In, holding this position. Get that nice stretch. Legs come in and we go into child's pose position. Walk your hands to the left. Pushing into the floor here. Walk your hands back into center. And bringing your hands over to the right, pushing into the floor. Back into center, pushing in. We're just going to step one leg forward to finish off. Now with this movement, I want you to think about tilting that pelvis forward in this position, okay? Now dropping into that position and grabbing the leg behind you, just like that, okay? Grabbing the leg behind you. Now you don't have to grab your leg. Leave it there if you like. It's just increasing that stretch. And then switch to the other side. So really bring that pelvis forward, dropping in, and grabbing that leg. It's not a long stretch, it's just enough to kind of get a little bit more extension through there. Coming back into the center, where we'll just finish off with our figure 4 stretch. So figure 4 coming over, pushing out through the knee, and that foot isn't extended, it's flexed. So really pushing out through that knee. Make it harder, bring the bottom closer to the legs. shifting back as we switch. This is an amazing glute stretch. If you haven't done it before, you'll love it. Bringing that bottom closer if you need to. And just finishing into bring chin to chest. Breathe in and out. And in and out. And we are finished.